A respected, talented chef becomes disillusioned with his monotonous, fruitless career after a food critic blindsides him with a harsh but accurate review. He quits his job and buys a food truck, reinvigorating his creativity and reuniting his broken family in the 2014 indie comedy Chef. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
I'm Colton Jenkins.
And this is Filmgazm. Welcome to the Filmgazm podcast. Colton and I are starting our short but sweet foray into food movies that we're affectionately calling FOODGAZM. We're going to do 10 food, restaurant-related movies and just kind of talk about the culture of foodies and how it relates to the culture of film and this kind of artsy obsession that so many people have that just kind of complements each other. And this kind of just came out of nowhere because you had recommended doing episodes on Chef and then on our next movie, Boiling Point, and organically we just kind of talked ourselves into it.
Yeah, I think Chef is a good starting off point because Jon Favreau has said that this movie kind of mirrors his life in the way that he views filmmaking, because he's very used to making big budget films and he wanted to, quote unquote, go back to basics. And that's exactly what Carl Casper does. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice, sweet, simple aperitif, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's nice. There's not a lot of conflict. It's just a delightful movie about a guy starting fresh and realizing what's important in life. And sometimes, you need a little palate cleanser for all the fucked up movies we talk about on this podcast.
Yeah.
This was Jon Favreau's delightful ode to food trucks. And as you said, a back to basics creative move for Favreau himself as a filmmaker. And since he's gone back to the blockbusters, we'll talk a bit about Favreau's career in a minute here. But first, my question to you. So this film is all about second chances and realizing you're in a rut and figuring out where your happiness truly is. And I'm curious, is there a time in your life when you kind of uprooted something that was holding you back and pursued like real change in pursuit of happiness?
Oh, man. Okay. So, yes. Pretty big moment, actually. I don't really like talking about it in public just because I like keeping this side of my life and my personal life separate, but I have no problem talking about it for a little bit. So for those who don't know, I am currently in the military, and leaving home was a huge choice. When I left home to join the military, I was actually working in a restaurant. I did really enjoy that. But I was in a very blatant abusive relationship. It was very, very bad. It wasn't good. I wasn't the best person. I was kind of a shitty son. I was awful. I was not in a good place. I had always wanted to join the military, but I had lost what I wanted to do in my life in this time of my life. So I finally went back to the recruiter. And usually the way it works is they give you like months before you leave. But what happened was he called me on a Saturday one day. And he said, "Hey, man, do you want to leave on Thursday?" So I didn't even have a week. And I actually said no. I hung up. And as soon as I hung up, I realized that was such a bad decision that I took the leap. I called him right back and I said, "Fuck it, I'll leave Thursday." And I left. And so it was a very short goodbye, but since then I have since found the woman I'm gonna marry. I am self-sufficient now. I am in a very good place right now. And yeah, it was scary leaving home. I'm sure most people can relate to that. But yeah, that's it. Big uproot there.
Damn, man. I'm proud of you. That's wow. I'm glad you had the strength to make that decision.
Thank you.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
I don't have anything nearly that monumental, but going back to school for me was a big life change that I wasn't sure I was going to do until I kind of got forced into it in a weird way. My old job was decent money, monotonous work, but I was left to my own devices. And then COVID happened and shit started imploding at that company, and most of the people were fired. I absorbed like 6 different people's workload. It got to the point where like I couldn't perform admirably because what I was doing was the work of an entire team. And everybody knew that, but I was still getting like reprimanded for not moving fast enough or shit. I ended up getting having to work from home, put on a completely different project that made no sense. And then I got fired and then rehired because they fired me by accident. And I wasn't sure I wanted to come back, but then they threatened to take away my unemployment. So I was like, well, I guess with that, I guess I'm coming back, aren't I? And at that point, I was like, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Like, this is pointless. This is worthless. I hate this. And I thought my only option was grad school. Like, do college again, but do it differently this time. Get a degree that's actually going to work for you. And so I thought, I love history. Maybe I can pursue a history degree. And I didn't have a lot of qualifications to get into grad school. I had to take some extra history courses out of my own pocket to beef up my history resume to get into grad school. And the grad advisor took a chance on me, just said like, you know what, you seem nice. I'll let you into the program. And yeah, thank you, Dr. Montgomery, for that. And yeah, I went back to school. I moved to San Marcos. I got an apartment and I did that for 2 years. I met a lifelong friend and wrote a thesis, got a grad degree, and I'm all the better for it. I'm a better person. I'm a more, rounded person. I think I look at the world a little bit more intelligently now. And I wouldn't, it was hard work. It was a pain in the ass. It pissed me off constantly, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking great. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, of course, now I work in an office doing admin work again, but you know what? I work in a better place with nicer people. So
yeah. Yeah. It's important also to like do what you love. It's so important in life. Yeah, like after this, I want to travel. That's my big thing. Once I'm done with the military, I'm going to travel. So
nice. That'll be great. I'm more of the mindset where like I just need a job to get money to finance the fun shit I want to do, like this podcast and my writing and all that. And if I can make it big as an artist, fantastic. But even if I don't, I still like doing this because I get to, maintain really fun relationships and I get to watch all this cool shit and talk about it and
have
a platform to upload some stuff. Like it's, I need this podcast at this point.
It's like therapy.
It is. It's therapeutic. Like Austin and we thought about that years ago. Like this is our weekly sesh.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I think whenever we go to record a podcast, most of the time of us talking is before you even start recording. Like we said that we were going to record this 2 hours ago and we just started.
Well, it's also, it's catching up with friends and just seeing like, what have you been up to lately? Like, that's the best part of this is the friendships I've gotten out of this podcast.
And the treasure was the friends we made along.
It's corny, but it's true. It really is true.
What movie is that from? Or is that just like
I think it's just a platitude somebody said on Tumblr once that just kind of took on a life of its own. But it's true. Yeah, I admire anybody who can realize they're in a bad place and do what they can to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a family member who recently just ended an abusive relationship of their own, and I'm very proud of him.
Nice. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, Jon Favreau felt that making multi-million-dollar box office movies that were huge successes.
Bad place.
Was his bad place, I guess. I mean, burnout is real. I won't, if you're the guy who's in charge of making a movie that's supposed to make billions of dollars, gotta imagine there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to make a little movie about a food truck and not worry about too much.
Yeah. It's great. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Could be touchy. Who knows? We might get a little bit deep here. So this movie is about change and, like you said, like uprooting where you are. It is about food, but to me, I think that the best part of this movie is that it is a father and son movie. So my question to you, what is the best memory you have of your father?
Wow. Damn, that is wow. Let's see. I don't have a lot of memories of my father. I think I've talked about it on this podcast at some point. My dad bailed when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I've had a on and off relationship with him. Lately, we've been like in a good place because I'm older now and he can relate, I guess. I think my happiest memory of my father is right before I moved to Texas. I used to live in Maryland, and I was the last member of my family to move here because my mom wanted me to finish school before I went to a new school. She didn't want to move me in the middle of my freshman year of high school. And my dad came up the last few days I was up there, and we just hung out for like a weekend. We went to the movies. We saw Get Him to the Greek, which was hilarious. That was my first like raunchy R-rated comedy, like at the movies, and it was so funny. And then we got Chinese food. We went back to the house, and we had a triple feature of Resident Evil, The Descent, and Paranormal Activity.
Oh, that's a hell of a triple feature. Holy shit!
First time watches all for me,
Nice.
And we just had a blast. It was a great we just had fun. I wasn't thinking about all the abandonment shit that I always have with my dad. I was just enjoying the moment and just having in that moment I had my dad, and that was that was good. That was a good time.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for letting me relive that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Wow. Damn, I got a little choked up there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So Jon Favreau wrote, directed, and starred in Chef. Some of his other films, odds are, if you're a nerd of any kind, you know the name Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah.
Elf, Cowboys and Aliens, The Jungle Book, The Lion King, and the first 2 Iron Man films. All him. He also created The Mandalorian. So this guy's got cred. You can pretty much credit the entire MCU with Iron Man's success. If that film didn't work, we don't get 20 years of Marvel movies. He made the formula that Hollywood keeps trying to replicate.
I did not know he made The Jungle Book.
Yeah, the remake. He did the remake of The Jungle Book and The Lion King, both of which were billion-dollar hits for Disney.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. Well, all right, Jungle Book wasn't a billion, but it was up there. But Lion King did hit the billion, which I don't understand. That movie it's not his fault that it was shit. It's just, it's not Jon Favreau's fault. He did the best he could, but you can't have realistic animated animals and emotion in the face. You can't do that at the same time.
I was about to ask you which one you liked more, but it's obvious you like Jungle Book more.
I thought the remake of The Jungle Book was great.
It was really good. The only thing I didn't like was the "I Want to Be Like You" with Christopher Walken. That was bad. That was weird.
I thought that was cute because they weren't trying to do a musical. They were just trying to make him like a giant jungle godfather. Which I thought was cool. It's like, ooby doo, I want to be like you. I was in. I like that. I thought it had more of a story than the animated movie, which the Jungle Book was one of my favorites as a kid. I thought that movie was great. I still love that movie, but I always thought it doesn't have a story and it just kind of ends with no resolution. The remake had a story.
Yeah, it did. Have you seen Mowgli?
The Legend of the Jungle, the Netflix movie?
Yeah.
I did see that. Yes.
Do you think that's better than the remake of Jungle Book?
No, not at all. But it was good. The voice talent was great, but it was too much. It was too like Mowgli's not some like hero. He's just some kid who got lost in the jungle. Like that's not a not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Favreau's got, he's done some amazing films, and Chef was his step back. He wrote it in 2 weeks with the desire to do a small, relatively independent film as opposed to the grandiose, big budget Goliaths he had been doing. And it worked. He had like Marvel people that, he had clearly had good relationships with who all came with him, like Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson. Like, yeah, he was able to put together a really good cast.
It's weird because while I was also researching this movie, the fucking dedication and amount of work that he put into this movie is fucking unreal. He went to fucking culinary school.
Yeah.
He went to fucking culinary school, dude, and worked in kitchens. Crazy.
He wanted this to be real. I admire that. He could have easily just swapped out, a hand double and just had them cut the fucking Cubanos, but no, he wanted to do it.
Yeah. So all the food was him, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was all him. Favreau enlisted Korean-American chef Roy Choi to work as a consultant on the film. Favreau shadowed Choi on the culinary aspects of the movie and learned how to do this. And the two later started a Netflix spin-off cooking show called The Chef Show that premiered in 2019 and has 2 seasons on Netflix.
Yeah, it's cool, man. They get like guest stars on. Like I just watched the episode where they make the food from the show, and Binging with Babish is on there. If you are a foodie and you're on YouTube, you know who that is. He's probably the greatest chef on YouTube right now. It's just really cool. It's just them like talking and cooking. That's that's it. That's all the show is, but it's really good. Yeah. Roy Choi is pretty cool. At the end of the movie, actually, in one of the shots, you can see his food truck. Koji, I think is what it's called. So that was his little shout out.
That's cool. Yeah, this is like you go to a lot of food trucks.
I do like food truck culture a lot. Yes.
Nice. I'm still looking for like a good one. I don't have good luck with food trucks. I know there's one over by my family's house called Taqueria Patty. They fucking rule. They have the best fajitas I've ever had in my life.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I love that place. They have such a weird schedule. They're open for like 3 hours a day every other day or something. It's such a weird window. And I always hope to catch it. But now I don't live on that side of the I'm in like 3 cities over now, so I'm not going to make that truck anymore.
Yeah.
But I live in Austin. I can find a good one.
Oh yeah, there's food trucks everywhere. There isn't as many here in San Antonio, which is unfortunate, but
there's like 4 on my way to work alone. I'm gonna stop. I think Monday I'm gonna stop at there's this one taco truck by a gas station. I pass it every day. They're always booming. They look fun. I'm gonna stop there Monday after work and get some tacos.
Do it. That's the one thing I miss about New York. There were food trucks everywhere, dude. Everywhere, and they were so good.
Yeah, I did love that. I've been to New York one time, and I did love that there were so many food options. It's like every 10 feet, there's something else.
Yeah,
I like that. You couldn't eat your way through New York if you had like 10 years and a completely empty stomach. You couldn't do it.
There is a food truck park somewhere over here in this area, and I think you were telling me about one that's like in New Braunfels.
Bulverde, I believe.
Bulverde.
And they have a great dessert truck that made these really tiny pies that were so fucking tasty.
Hell yeah, dude. That's so cool. Yeah.
The character of Carl Casper was largely inspired by Favreau himself, who also came from a broken home and has had to balance fatherhood and a famous demanding career. So a lot of that came from a real place. His desire to, spend more time with his kids and not be, Disney's fucking blockbuster machine.
Yeah. Did he make Elf? He made Elf too, right?
Yep, he made Elf.
That's fucking weird.
I know. People have been after him to make a sequel to that movie for years, and Will Ferrell is the one who won't go back.
Really?
He doesn't want to do it. He said there's nowhere else to go with Elf. He thinks he's proud of the movie, but that's it. And I admire that. We don't need another one.
No. But it's so weird to know that like the guy who's making The Mandalorian right now is also making Elf, which it's fucking weird, man.
Elf was a huge fucking success. Like I don't
Yeah.
Elf. I'm gonna look that up. Like how much did Elf make at the box office? Let's find out. Elf on a budget of $33 million made $225 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's a modern Christmas classic. Draft House plays it every Christmas. They do the Elf movie party with fucking chocolate syrupy spaghetti and all that shit. They always, yeah, they do a spaghetti eating contest where you have to eat like spaghetti covered in syrup, and somebody throws up every time.
I know what I'm doing this Christmas. Elf is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time.
Elf's great. It's hilarious.
So good. It's my dad's favorite Christmas movie, actually.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh, that's a big question. It's probably a mix between National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or Christmas Story. No. See, it's okay. I don't know. Santa Claus with Tim Allen is pretty up there too. Those are like my big three, honestly.
All three of those are fantastic Christmas movies. One time, my mom, we have a big at Christmas. We have family over. We do a Christmas Eve is a big deal at our house, and my mom did Christmas Vacation bingo for everybody. Like she made a card of if you catch this, make sure you have trivia. What I don't know what part of the turkey does Cousin Eddie want Clark to save for him?
That's great.
Save the neck for me, Clark. Like shit like that. It was fun. It was so much fun. I think for me, I love Christmas Vacation to death. I love Scrooged.
I forgot about Scrooge, dude. Oh my god.
That movie is so perfect.
Okay. Fuck, I forgot Home Alone 2. Okay, hold on. Here's a even harder question.
Okay.
Name 3 bad Christmas movies. Yeah, you can't.
I can.
I guess you're good, yeah.
The 2019 remake of Black Christmas.
Yeah.
That movie can go fuck itself. The Star Wars Holiday Special. Fuck Life Day. And all right, it's not a bad movie, but it's a dark as fuck Christmas movie. It's called One Magic Christmas from 1985. That movie is one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen in my life, and it turns into a happy Christmas movie in the last 10 minutes, but the entire movie before that, you are watching a family fall apart, and it is just horrible.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Christmas movies are they're always so pleasant to watch. Always.
Except for Jingle All the Way. That movie's I love that movie to death. It's funny as hell, but it is the most cynical Christmas movie ever made.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you I think we talked about this. Do you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Absolutely. 100%.
I used to not, but the plot of the movie only happens because it's Christmas Eve, therefore it is a Christmas movie.
My rule is if it takes place at Christmas, it is a Christmas movie. That's it.
So is Harry Potter a Christmas movie?
If the first one, my family's watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone at Christmas.
Yeah, they're very cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy, it's fun. Like Iron Man 3, Batman Returns, Christmas movies.
Man, I haven't seen Iron Man 3 in so long. I forgot about that. Holy shit.
I watched it recently, and it is better because of Shang-Chi, but not by much.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I still think the worst Marvel movie is Thor 2. Dark World.
Yeah. The first two Thors are are rough to get through now with
They
hindsight.
are, but the second one is horrendous.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jon Favreau is in Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's Hogan.
Yeah, that's so fucking cool, dude. And he directed it. That's so good. That's so good.
Do you ever see the 2003 Daredevil movie?
I'm not.
He plays Foggy Nelson, Matt Murdock's partner.
That's so good.
It's hilarious. Yeah, Favreau's in a whole bunch of great stuff.
Favreau's great.
You ever see I Love You, Man?
Of course, I've seen that.
He's the fucking asshole brother who just hates Paul Rudd's guts.
Yeah, and he gets thrown up all over. I Love You, Man. It's such a good movie. It's a bromance comedy.
I love bromances. It's great. There's not enough of those. Oh, that was a fun diversion. Yeah, when December rolls around, we're gonna do a whole bunch of Christmas movies. We always pick like 4 or 5 and just go ape shit over Christmas.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a lot we have not done. We've never done. I think in the past we did Krampus and we've done It's a Wonderful Life. We did Home Alone and Oscar Sunday, but we never touched Scrooged. Never did Jingle All the Way. Like Elf. We never did Elf. Like, we are definitely gonna go crazy.
Oh yeah.
Favreau filmed on location in various cities across America, including Miami, New Orleans, and Austin, Texas. All 3 cities get some restaurant spotlights, and it's delightful. Especially like there's a scene in Austin where they're sitting, like the truck is parked right across from Home Slice Pizza on South Congress, which I've been to. That was so cool. See, like, I've been on that street. So neat to have those moments.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's so cool when movies do that. I don't obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of movies that do that where people are like, holy shit, I've been there. Like, have you seen The Deuce?
No, I haven't.
It's not a movie, but it's a TV show. It's on HBO. It's about the beginning of the porn industry. Anyway, in the very first episode, there's a scene that was filmed literally across from my apartment in New York. Like, I was like, holy shit, I've been there. In fact, when I was in high school, they were filming the show while I was in class. Like, I could have gone to meet James Franco.
That shit happened to me too. Richard Linklater was filming Everybody Wants Some at Texas State while I was there. And I found out when my film teacher came out and was like, hey, did you hear Linklater was on campus earlier filming for his new movie? And I was like, what? Like, he's gone? And then I watched the movie a few months ago, and yeah, I saw the campus. I was like, I parked in that parking lot. I've been there. That's where I waited for the bus. Like, it was weird.
Yeah. They were also filming an episode of Blue Bloods, apparently, by my house too once. And they closed off a whole street, and a whole lot of people were mad.
I bet that happens in New York a lot. I mean, that's a big filming place.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to. Why were you late for work? Fucking Blue Bloods again.
Why were you late? Hulk smashed my car. Okay, no, really, why were we work? No, for real. They're filming the next Avengers movie over there, and the prop car flew over the set and crushed my car.
My God. That's funny as hell. I would love to see a show about just like people who get fed up with filming shit in New York and just try to sabotage a movie set.
Yeah.
It'd be great. The film was a sleeper hit, grossing $46 million on a budget of only $11 million. It has an IMDb score of 7.3, Rotten Tomatoes score of 87%, audience score of 85%, pretty beloved. Mm-hmm. Critics' consensus reads, chef's charming cast and sharp, funny script add enough spice to make this feel-good comedy a flavorful, if familiar, treat. Just couldn't resist a little jab in the ribs there, could you? Just couldn't just praise a movie. You always got to be like, and fuck you too. Always. But with that, let's give this film some awards. Let's show some love to Chef.
Oh yeah.
Let's start with the best line of the movie. What do you got?
Okay, so this one's pretty long, but this line is said when Carl and his son Percy, it's the first time that they're making the Cubanos on their truck, and Percy's doing really well so far. But then Percy burns a sandwich, and they're giving these sandwiches out for free because the people that they're feeding helps them put their truck together. And he burns one of the sandwiches, and Percy's like, okay, we're going to serve this one. And Carl is like, no, we can't do that because, like, it's burnt. And Percy says, so what? They're not paying for it. So he asks his son step off the truck to go talk to him. And this is the line. So Carl says, slow down a sec. Is this boring to you? Percy says, no, I like it. And the quote is, yeah, well, I love it. Everything that's good that happened to me in my life came because of that. I might not do everything great in my life, okay? I'm not perfect. I'm not the best husband. And I'm sorry if I haven't been the best father, but I'm good at this. And I want to share this with you. I want to teach you what I learned. I get to touch people's lives with what I do, and it keeps me going, and I love it. And I think if you give it a shot, you might love it too. Now, should we have served that sandwich? And Percy replies, no, chef, which I thought was cute. And then Carl replies, that's my son. Now get back in the trunk. Not the trunk, sorry, the truck. We have hungry people waiting. And then he yells, he's ready to cook, which I thought was so cute. Really good father-son moment.
It's a great...
Put him in the trunk.
I was thinking the same thing, like how much it would ruin that scene. It's like, all right, now get back in the fucking trunk. You're grounded. But I went with the same line. It's a beautiful father-son moment, a great character moment for Carl to get to see, just, because you don't become a chef if food is like your hobby. You become a chef if food is your life. Like, this is your lifeblood. You live and breathe this shit, and you have to pass that on to your son. To use this as a life lesson is brilliant, and it gets through. And I love that. It's insightful and it's good advice.
Yeah, so good.
Beautiful.
They have such a good fucking chemistry. They should have casted Jon Favreau as Anakin and Percy as, MJ. I forgot his last name. MJ. Shit. Let me look it up. Ooh. Great. Now it's too long. Joke won't land. MJ Anthony. They should have casted Jon Favreau as Anakin and MJ Anthony as Padme, and they would have had better chemistry.
Well, not in that way. I mean, Christ. But I love that also, because we've been filming the Star Wars stuff out of order. Like, the audience is like, why are we talking about Star Wars now? That's fun. But yeah, this kid is, we saw him in Krampus. Kid's a good actor. He's going to be somebody.
Yeah.
Best music moment.
So first of all, this soundtrack fucking slaps. There's so many good songs in this movie. It's so good. Like, there's a lot of like subtle like jazz or like Latino covers of songs, which I think is really cool. White Lines is in this movie, which I love that song because of Shaun of the Dead. But I'm a huge Gary Clark Jr. fan, so the best music moment to me is when Gary Clark Jr. is performing in Austin. I love Gary Clark Jr. so much, and this is a father-son type of movie, and my dad introduced me to Gary Clark Jr., so I'm going to have to go with the scenes where he played When My Train Pulls In, and I don't remember the other one. So, but yeah, so good. He's so good.
Yeah, Gary Clark Jr. kicks ass. I know a lot of people hated the Justice League movie from 2017, the non-Zack Snyder cut, but you got to admit, Gary Clark Jr.'s cover of Come Together fucking slapped.
Yeah, that was really good.
This movie got a vinyl soundtrack release that I'm considering picking up.
Really? Mm-hmm. I will be picking that up.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. I went to Half Price Books today, and I saw the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom soundtrack on vinyl. I wanted it so bad.
That's beautiful.
Original pressing from 84 was $25, and I was like,
what the fuck? You didn't get it?
I didn't. I couldn't. That's steep for me for vinyl. I'm an under $10 kind of guy when it comes to pretty much everything. But I do love vinyl. Mm-hmm. I agree. This is a fantastic soundtrack, very Latin influenced, very jazzy, very cool. I went with the final scene of the movie with Oye Como Va by Perico Hernandez covering Santana's awesome Latin song. It's just a great celebration of everything we've come to see. You know, Carl and Ez are getting remarried. Carl's got a restaurant that's under his control that he gets to dictate what food gets made there. Everybody's happy, and it's just a perfect celebration song. Yeah. Oya Como Va is a goddamn classic, and I got to see Santana a few years ago, and he played it, and it was fucking awesome. That guy, I've never seen anybody manipulate a guitar like Carlos Santana. That guy is a fucking snake charmer with that motherfucker.
That's great.
Really, it was so neat. But this is a great cover of that song, and it really just works to kind of wrap up everything we've enjoyed thus far.
Yeah. There's I also wanted to say I think this movie ends like it has one of the best endings to any movie ever. It's so wholesome. Everything comes together. It's nice and tied up into a nice, sandwich package. It's so good.
Yeah, the doggy bag. You get a little bit for later. It's nice.
Yes, man. And like I love that his critic, like, because of the way that the critic framed his apology at the end of the movie, made me actually believe that he's not an asshole and he's just doing it for show. He was like, dude, I didn't know that you thought you were sending me a private message. I'm sorry. Like, why would you? He said, he was like, I buy ink by the barrel. What are you doing? I wouldn't challenge you to a cook-off.
That was a great line. Yeah, we're going to talk about that scene later for sure. But first, performance. It's a great ensemble cast. A lot of people to pick from here. What would you go with?
So this was really hard. The three main people, I don't want to say his name incorrectly. Jon Leguizamo, he's in it. He's wonderful. Jon Favreau is great. MJ Anthony is so good. He's not like an annoying kid in that movie. But I did go with Jon Favreau as Carl Casper. He just really seems like someone who is so passionate about what he does as a chef, and that passion and love for food transfers to the passion and love of his son. And the turning point for me was when he sees his son cooking the cubano for the first time and they start bonding. It's so fucking good. You can tell that he's hurt by the review. He's passionate about cooking. It's what gets him excited. You can just tell he loves his son. There's a scene toward the beginning of the movie where his son is signing him up for Twitter, and he gives his son a look, and that look is so fucking good. Their chemistry together is so wonderful. It's beautiful. Like it seems like they are really father and son. So Jon Favreau, he takes the cake. It was so good. The chocolate lava cake. He takes it.
It's molten. You see that?
Molten. You're not getting to me.
Oh my god. Yeah. I almost went with that for my scene. It's just such a fantastic, because Oliver Platt's sitting there with like, I can't believe this is happening right now on his face. And it's so great. Yeah, I agree. Favreau is such a Renaissance man. He's a great director. He's a great actor. He's a great writer, great producer. Like the dude can do it all.
Yeah.
But I gave this to Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, really?
I did not expect him to show up in this. And he did. It was so great. Just the ex-husband who knows Carl's there because he has no other option. And he just dances around that the whole time. And just like, he's playing an asshole, but he's also helping him out. So like, he's still a decent guy. But it's such a heat check performance. Just the shit he's talking about. Like, she's pregnant. And like, I got a vasectomy, so I know she's a fucking liar. Like, just crazy shit like that.
He's like, what are you talking? He's like, are we talking about the carpet or the kid? And he's like, I don't even know anymore. That scene
feels so improvised, all of it. Like, I don't think he had a script. I think they just brought in Robert Downey Jr. for one day and said, "You're playing my wife's ex-husband. Roll with that."
I'm sure they did, because all the scenes of them in the food truck, that's all improvised also.
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great. This should have been up for screenplay, like at the Oscars. Like, this should have been considered. This is a great movie.
I've seen this movie probably like 12 times. I think honestly it's like my second favorite movie, right under Hook. And the jokes, I still laugh at them, like full laughs, not just little exhales through my nose. I laugh at every joke in this movie.
I remember. Yeah, that was a fun experience.
It was
Yeah, it was great. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna pick this up next time I see it on Blu-ray. I'm gonna get this.
when he opens the oven and it's bacon, and he's like, "Whose bacon is this? I gotta watch this too. You better watch your ankles because Papi Chulo's coming to get you." So,
the whole like, hey, if you put cornstarch on your balls, it'll cool you down.
that was
Like
so
that.
funny. Oh my god! Have you ever put cornstarch in your balls, Connor?
I didn't know that was a thing, but you know what? It's like 117 degrees down here. I'm considering it.
Yeah.
Oh, gonna bake some biscuits out here, man. Best scene. What's the highlight scene of the movie?
Oh man, a lot of good scenes in this movie. I love every single scene that it shows them cooking because the food looks so good. This movie makes you hungry and it makes you want to cook. But I think probably the most emotional scene in this movie, the best scene in the movie to me, my eyes do admittedly get a little moist. It's the 1 second a day video scene when Carl is watching the video that his son made, where throughout the entire movie, every once in a while, if you look in the background, you see his son filming something. And at the end of the movie, Carl gets an email from his son, and it's a video. And Percy has been, filming 1 second every day for their entire trip. And it's just a montage of the father and the son bonding. And it's so beautiful. It's amazing.
It's great. It's a great. I love the setup for that is Carl's like, well, that sounds dumb. Why would anybody do that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's never like the attention to it is never brought. But you're right. He is in the background filming the whole time. Yep. And at the end, the payoff is just so great. And it just shows Carl, the true restaurant was saving the relationship with his son.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. His eyes glaze over. And that's when he realizes he's like, I love cooking, but I love Percy more.
Mm. Ah, beautiful. I went with the critic's apology when he goes to the truck and says he wants to bankroll Carl for a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It's full circle. It's great to see. Like the second Carl sees him, he like the color drains out of his face, and he's just like it all comes back immediately.
Yeah.
And all over Platt's like, whoa, hey, man, like, mea culpa, Jesus. just wants to bankroll him because I love. He's like, this shit is good.
Yeah, it's a delicioso, mucho goodo.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like the ending we needed. Everybody is friends again, and it's just Carl found his creativity. He got his family back. The critic gets to taste a good meal from the great Carl Casper. Everybody gets what they deserve.
Yeah. I'm also glad that when I first watched it, I wish that we had gotten another scene with Scarlett Johansson or Riva. I wish that they had fuck you especially to Riva because he fucking deserved it. But I realize now he's not needed. It's not needed. He wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He was just a shitty he's just a restaurant owner. He doesn't care about the art of cooking.
No, he cares about what's profitable. And yeah, people are going to go to a restaurant that they enjoy eating at. That's what people do. But you can't put a shackle on a chef and tell him he's free. You can't do that.
No. And
yeah, I too would have liked a bit of just him closing down the restaurant or something like that.
Ooh.
Would have been good. And then Scarlett Johansson and Bobby Cannavale, they go work over at El Jefe.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, but Sofia Vergara would not let Scarlett Johansson within 10 feet of that place.
No. Not anymore. No.
Nope. That was great. It was this is a delightful, fun, charming movie. You all really need to see this. It's not streaming anywhere free right now, regrettably. You can rent it on Vudu for $4. That's what we did. but it's great. It was on Netflix for the longest time. It's weird that the Chef show is there, but Chef the movie's not anymore.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't get that, but it's it's not forgotten. It's floating around. It'll be back on a service at some point.
Yeah, I will for sure.
With that, let's take a look at what Letterboxd has to say about this on our final segment. What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box? Give me the gun.
Chef is rocking 3.7 out of 5. Very respectable.
Nice.
Delightful. I have 4 reviews here, 1 good one and 3 fucking scathing ones. We're getting to the point where I think I might just not do the good one and just go straight to the negatives every time, because that's where the comedy is.
Yeah, because I like hearing, like, we already know it's good. I like shitting on the people who have no idea what they're talking about. You can have your opinions, but sometimes sometimes they don't know what they're talking about.
All 3 of these people are fucking crazy. So yeah. All right, but first let's go to this good one. This just sounded like such a great, this guy was so happy to see this. This is from Exy Reviews, ECCY Reviews. I don't know. Jon Favreau can do no wrong. He made Christmas good, Marvel good, Star Wars good, and now food even better. Love this movie so much. Great story and acting. Brilliant family movie. Made me hungry from start to finish. The food looks so good. 5 stars.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, me too. So did 89 other people. Now, these 3 people need therapy. Okay. This one's from Josh Oggs. All caps. It's all about food. Half a star.
What?
I don't know.
Because the movie's called Chef. What, did you think it was going to be about porn?
What were you surprised? Like, what the fuck? God damn it. Maybe it's like the bear. Maybe he thought it was Jeff. It's like, I know, a movie about a chef reinvigorating his creativity and buying a food truck is about food. Who would have thought? Oh my God, what a shock.
Did he not like the bear?
I haven't looked into this guy's thing. I would love if that's like a crazy trigger for him. Like there's food in a movie and he's like, fuck this immediately. No matter how, he could be 2.5 hours into the best movie he's ever seen. They have burgers at the end of it. That movie's dead to him.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen Pulp Fiction? Fucking hate that movie. Why? Cheeseburgers.
I don't this makes no fucking sense to me. Okay. This next one's from Marissa Tommen. If you like this movie, stay the fuck away from me. Half a star.
Why?
I don't know.
What's wrong with this movie?
It's amazing. It's amazing the stuff that like offends and like makes people say like, oh, that was dog shit. Like, how do you have that reaction to a movie like this?
I'm really trying. I don't think there is anything offensive in this movie.
They don't. All the Hispanic characters are played by Hispanic actors. Like, it's all above board. I don't get what you. Yeah, crazy. This last one is just. I don't. Here we go. Zachary 28. Ooh, I'm Jon Favreau, and I'm so tired of working for this big group that doesn't allow me the creative freedom I want. Ooh, and then I start my own food truck, and it's really good and really successful, and everybody loves it, and everybody loves me, and then I have sex with Scarlett Johansson and Sofia Vergara. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I hate you, chef. This movie fucking sucks. Fuck you. Cubanos aren't even that good at sandwich. Fuck you. Half a star. Ooh. I don't know.
What? It has to be rage bait.
It has to, that or like a weird jealousy to have. Like, look at me. I'm this big director, and I don't understand.
What is wrong with people?
Why do people watch movies just so they control people? Like, where's the fun in that? Don't you just enjoy the experience? Don't you just let yourself get lost in a great story? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh.
And first of all, Cubanos are delicious, okay?
Yeah.
I have 2 1-star Google reviews. They are very short, but they made me laugh the same way that these did.
Bring it.
All right. Simran Sarai says, waste of time. Tried making the sandwich. Didn't taste good. There are better cooking shows out there. 1 star.
Oh my! How is that the movie's fault that you can't make a fucking Cubano?
I know.
I can't make beef Wellington. Does that mean like if a movie's made about beef Wellington, it can go fuck itself? No.
So, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. This one is from I don't know how to say the name. It's Jazzed Mufasta. Characters lack chemistry with each other, making it difficult to watch. 1 star.
My ass.
Right? This has like some
Chemistry is the best thing about this movie.
So I was so taken aback by these reviews. Okay. Their names kind of okay. Their names are interesting because they sound like they're probably from, the like Middle East area, right? Like Eastern.
Okay.
Okay. So after I was reading the reviews, I wanted to look up more about the movie. So I Wikipedia'd Chef, and apparently there was a movie that was also called Chef, made in India in 2017, and the plot is the exact same.
Shit.
So I'm not saying that these are like people that are like trying to put down this movie so their other movie is better, or maybe they watched the wrong movie, but it is the exact same plot. This guy is in a distant relationship with his son, so he moves to his son's hometown and opens a food truck with his son.
Oh, yeah, on Wikipedia, it's an official remake of the 2014 American film. So yeah, they remade this in India.
Yes.
Okay. It's weird for people to take a stance on that, be like, no, mine. But that's, some people do that.
Yeah.
Was this one like 3.5 hours long, like all of the other Bollywood movies?
Dude, I don't know. I watched the trailer. It doesn't seem obviously I couldn't understand anything they were saying, unfortunately, because I don't speak it. But it looked good.
I have yet to watch any films from India because they're all so long. They don't need to be that long. I don't know why. Damn it.
They're very long.
Yeah, but I will.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot. I have seen RRR, which was really good, and then I've also seen 3 Idiots, which was really funny, actually. It's about 3 engineering students.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, RRR is probably the one I'll start with because that's the one I know about. So we'll get there. We will get there. This was a blast. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you like the show, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Filmgazm Productions. If you want to suggest films for us to check out, you can email us at filmgazm@gmail.com or send us a message through the socials. Check out our Letterboxd accounts for daily reviews. You search for me at Connor95, and in my friends list, you can find the rest of the team. Check out the website, filmgazm.com, where I have a link to that letterbox. You can also find articles, trailers of upcoming films, and every episode of our show. If you'd like to become a monthly donor to Filmgazm Productions, click on the link in the episode description. From there, click on Support This Podcast. You can choose to donate $1 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month, and all donations go right back into the show. Thanks to the entire Filmgazm team for their contributions. Thanks to Cooley Cow for our awesome theme music. Thanks to you for checking it out. Remember to find what makes you happy and keep it around, whether that be a hobby, a career, a person, a pet, whatever. Next week, we're going to be doing Boiling Point, continuing this fun project. We've already recorded and watched that one. Fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to hearing you hear us, I guess.
I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. We got 10 planned. We're 2 in the bag. This is going to be fun. Take it easy. Keep watching movies. See you next time.